Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. Out here with part of my crew, getting in a 6.5 mile ruck this morning. Thought we'd bring you along. All kinds of things going on, but some of the stuff that's happening that kind of making me go hum is, you know, I try not to talk too much crazy about the politics stuff and who's in office, because I think most of you agree with me. In the end, it doesn't even matter. They're all chosen, all that kind of stuff. But it's very possible that we're seeing a setup here that there may not even be a next election. I know that's not new revelation to a lot of you, but I've just been picking up on some interesting things in the last few days. Have you guys seen that ridiculous video going around of the nurses? And this is no knock to nurses, but remember during the lockdown how they were out there doing their silly dancing? You know, the world's dying, right? It's the most deadly disease ever, so we're going to take all this time to do these ridiculous dances. Well, there's a new one out. It's a bunch of nurses doing dances like that, except it's for climate change, because we're all going to die tomorrow because it's going to be 92 degrees or something like that. Makes me wonder if my theory and many others that we are about to see some kind of COVID-style climate lockdown, because they're already out there with their cheerleaders getting everybody psychologically prepared.
Prioritize the biggest risk. Fire explodes and extreme heat, but more than just that dancing feet. So come on you, fossil fuels, stay bloody with renewables. Come on kids, pay the price, ignoring scientists' advice. Leaders should be done to stop the fight, so we stay alive, stay alive. Cut down carbon to stop the body stopping, so we stay alive, stay alive. We all want to stay alive, stay alive. We all want to stay
Interesting. I was listening to a podcast yesterday. It all fits together, so I know. I'm all over the board today, but I'm a little out of breath. Been yapping and talking with my guys. So. But anyways, so I was watching this or listening to a podcast yesterday while I was mowing my yard, and the guy was making an excellent case of how the Biden administration is getting scarily close to kind of that dictatorship level of control. He pointed out that one of the marks of a dictatorship throughout history is not just that person can commit a crime without fear of legal retribution, is that person can break societal taboos. So things that in society it's a taboo. It's bad. You don't do that. Everybody knows. I mean, if you're a criminal or not, you just know not to do that kind of stuff. And we're watching things happen. I mean, we got an old man that fondles and sniffs little people. We have people, men with women's body parts flashing themselves at the White House. We got the sun on the balcony, right in front of everyone. All kinds of stuff. These are kind of like societal taboos, and yet they're doing them right out in the open. No one cares. And then I read an article yesterday, and I'm telling you folks, the reason why I'm telling you all this is you better be getting out, doing the kind of stuff we're doing today, getting you lots of these things, make sure they're loaded up, make sure you know how to use them. Because I saw this article yesterday from The Hill, which is, it's a partisan political piece, but it was talking about this group of law professors from Harvard and like UCLA and San Diego and all these big prestigious, well-known liberal universities. And they have sent an open letter to the president stating that their opinion is that he has the constitutional power to override the Supreme Court, and that he should. They believe that the Supreme Court right now, because it's dominated by conservatives, is out of the intentions of the Constitution, and that it's an unusual court, and that he should use what they called popular constitutionalism, which is whatever the people are into that moment, that's what we should do, basically. And that he should continue on with things like abortion and what is it? I can't even think of it right. What is it, Leon? The college, the recent ruling of college.
Oh, affirmative action.
Affirmative action, sorry. See, that's why I got my guys with me today, because I'm old and can't remember things. But that he should just override these things. That he should, through executive order and through presidential power, just override the Constitution, because override the Supreme Court, because they're so far out there that they're not in line with where the people are. Now, some of you may say, this is just some stupid open letter. What's it mean? This is an open letter by, from what I understand, some very prestigious, knowledgeable, while albeit left-leaning, constitutional law professors in the country. Is it possible that the president could do that? I mean, they're already breaking constitutional law left and right in the White House. So why wouldn't they do that? When that kind of stuff happens, folks, we have a dictatorship. It doesn't matter if the Constitution is still in its little plaque there in the museums and stuff, and the Declaration. Oh yeah, that's what it. Oh, the Congress still meets. It's called a banana republic at that point, and it doesn't matter. That's the direction we are headed. I'm not saying that we will most definitely get there, but it's certainly the direction that we are headed. And with all this talk of who is going to be on the ballot for the election and stuff, you realize how much, as close as you think that is, it's still quite a ways away. And Biden did promise that Trump would not be on the ballot. And who's to say that there even will be an election? And even if there is it even going to be legitimate? I mean, personally, my opinion is probably not at this point. I'm not telling you not to go support a candidate. That's your business. But what I am telling you is this. If there is not an election, or if it's so blatantly obvious, in fact, that one colonel, can't think of his name, he's been going around on the internet quite a bit lately. He said it and everyone's got him on their show talking to him. Army colonel was saying this. Either there won't be an election because of some kind of lockdown or World War III invasion, so they can have some emergency powers act, or there will be an election, but it will be so blatantly obvious that it's faked that people could very easily just kind of lose it. And when you start to look at the patterns of behavior that this White House is openly violating, these societal taboos, and not even showing any shame, when you've got constitutional law professors encouraging the White House to completely just destroy the Constitution. You're seeing a pattern here of things happen. Doesn't mean they will happen, but you're seeing a pattern. And I'm telling you folks, you need to be getting ready for this. You need to be stocking up food, bullets, medical stuff, all the things. You need to be getting out and getting your body in better shape. Watch the video I did last night. It kind of covers all this stuff. You need to be forming your groups, your crews, like this. you need to be doing stuff, guys. You need to be getting ready. Because if this, what I'm speaking of, happens, it's very possible it could be way worse than any kind of war with China or Russia or anything like that. You could very well see another American Civil War. And it's not going to be battle lines like last time, where they're distinct and obvious. It's going to be you against your neighbor or the guy down the street or various other factions and insurgents. Forget whatever you think you know about the American Civil War. It won't be anything like that. It'll be a lot worse. You need to be getting ready. Before I get off of here, let me catch up with my guys. I fell back talking, and I want to get Leon on here. Leon!
Yeah.
So this is my buddy Leon. He has a radio show, and I want you to plug your radio show for the folks.
Yes, it's on the John Moore Radio Show. It's on Tuesdays at 0700 Central Time. We focus on doTERRA essential oils and how you can use them during emergencies. And we discuss everything, what Travis talks about,
Yeah.
across the board. But yes, it's Tuesdays, every day of the week, and you can also look at the archives under RBN Archives. You can listen. I've been doing it for 12 years now.
Awesome.
Thank you.
So check that guy. He's out. He's one of my buddies here. He's full of information. In fact, he's probably one of the smarter people that I know. Just don't tell that to the rest of the guys up there. Anyways, folks, you need to be getting serious about this. When you start to see all these patterns line up, they don't necessarily mean these things are going to happen, but they certainly mean that there's an increased chance. And as there's one after another of these things happening, that increases the odds of something like there not being a presidential election, or the election so overtly faked that it causes people to rise up, or it causes everyone to just give up and then they fully take over. Either way, it's about as doomsday as you can get for us here in America. So that's what I'm telling you. You need to be preparing yourself for that. Coming up with a plan. How you're going to defend your home. How you're going to take care of things. What are you going to do when you can't go to the store? What are you going to do when the lights don't work? What are you going to do when you can't go to the pharmacy or the doctor? Think about those kind of things, folks. Because it's very possible you may be faced with them. It's time to get your houses in order. Prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.